Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles. Today I'm here to do another round of 5-star predictions. So as most of you know, I had a book haul a little while back and a lot of those books I think are going to be pretty good and I'm really excited to read. So let's go ahead and get started. First book that I have on this list is Amari and the Night Brothers. So I have heard nothing but great things about this book. I'm super excited to read it. I don't read a lot of middle grade, not because I don't like middle grade, but because I just haven't picked it up, I guess, and I do enjoy middle grade, so I am really excited to dive into it. I know that the second book for this is supposed to be coming out this year, although it's been pushed back a few times, but I'm really excited and I really do hope that I enjoy this. If I don't enjoy this, I'm gonna be really sad. So in this, we're following a young girl named Amari. Her brother goes missing, and I believe that people are under the impression that her brother is dead, and she just doesn't believe that. So she tries to figure out what happens, and she gets wrapped up with the Bureau of Supernatural Investigations, I think it's called. That's all I really know. That's all I really want to know going in, but I'm very excited to get to this, as well as everything else on this list. So I'm gonna try not to say that too many times. I also think that all of these books were gifted to me. Amari and the Night Brothers was gifted to me by Dasha. The next book that I have on this list is one that I am excited for because I have heard good things. However, the first book that I read by this author, I hated with a burning passion. So I'm looking forward to reading Dear Martin by Nick Stone. I read Odd One Out by her and I absolutely hated it. But we're just gonna hope that this one is good. So this is a story that involves racism, police brutality, what it's like to be a young Black man in America. So I do know that'll probably be a little heavy hitting, probably gonna put me in a type of mood, but I am still interested in reading it. I also want to read the sequel, Dear Justice. So I haven't really read the synopsis and I don't really want to going in, but I am really looking forward to this, and this was gifted to me by Z. The next book that I have on this list, I added to my wish list after watching a video by Ashley's Little Library, and my boyfriend got this for me for Christmas, and it is 56 Days. So this is a pandemic murder mystery thriller type thing where two people who I think met online or were just starting to date at the beginning of the pandemic end up quarantining together, and then one of them ends up dead. That's all I know. Not gonna read the synopsis because I personally think that a lot of mystery thriller synopses give away too much. So that's all I know. That's all I want to know. But I think this is gonna be really good and I'm really excited to get to it because the premise just sounds really good, so I'm hoping that my expectations are met. The next book that I have was gifted to me by Robin, and I know that Dasha really loved this book. It was also recommended to me by B from B's Book Hollow, so I'm really hoping that I'm gonna like it. I trust both Dasha and B's recommendations, so I think I will like it, even though I was a little on the fence about whether or not I want to read it, but it's These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. So I know that there's a sequel to this, Our Violent Ends. I don't think Dasha's read that one yet. This book is sort of a reimagining of Romeo and Juliet in 1920 Shanghai. So I don't really know what to expect, but I'm willing to give it a try. I'm probably going to want to do a blended read of this and get the audiobook as well. So I will absolutely be reading this at some time this year for a different project. So I will definitely be giving you my thoughts on this at some point. Next book on this list was also gifted to me by Dasha, and I've heard a lot of people talk about it, a lot of people whose opinions I trust, including Jess and Rachel. So I'm really excited to finally read The Firekeeper's Daughter. I know very little about this book, to be totally honest. However, I know that it's an Indigenous young adult I don't know if it's a thriller or it's a thriller. I'm really excited because I believe I have this on the list for my library as well. If you don't know, I'm building a library of Black literature, but I'm also including Latinx and Indigenous work. So I'm really excited to read this and hopefully get a copy from my library as well. And the last book on this list was also gifted to me by Robin, and it is A Stranger in the House by Shari LaPena. So I really loved The Couple Next Door by her. It was my first time reading anything by this author, but I was obsessed with that book. So I started adding other books by her to my wish list. I read the synopsis at one point and it's something about an accident that happens, and then with the husband's in an accident, the wife gets a call, something happens to her and she doesn't remember anything. I don't really know, I don't care. I'm gonna be really sad if this isn't a 5-star read, but it's okay. I think even if it's not, I'm probably gonna continue to read through Charlotte Payne's work just because The Couple Next Door really left an impact on me, and I'm super excited to see what else she has out there. So those are all of my most recent 5-star predictions. Hopefully the next time I do a wrap up, it will go well like last time, and I'll have a lot of books on the list that were actually 5 stars. We'll see, but I will absolutely keep you updated on whether or not these were actually 5 stars, and hopefully I'm getting better at determining my own taste. Is it me? Is it the authors? I don't know. I guess we'll just have to find out. But let me know if you've read any of these or if they are on your TBR. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.